It's actually the first day of February already, because we want to tell you what's on in February. I will just give you a little bit of a warning. Fiona may go into a bit of a history little talk, because she's just spent a fascinating visit to Bannockburn House over in Stirling. I was going to say on the horizon, the Holyrood election, but it's now less than 100 days till it happens. So obviously the pair of us are thinking about the best way to use the podcast in that time.
If anybody's got any thoughts on what might be the best way to, make sure we don't have a Reform First Minister, then put them in the comments and we'll have a look at them.
I might move to Wales if we have a Reform First Minister.
I'll be going further than that.
We know that's not going to happen. We know it's not going to be that. The thing is, let's give them the biggest kick up the backside as possible in Scotland.
Yeah.
Send them back down over the border.
Yeah, to think again.
Johnny Cole. But in the meantime, as far as we know, what are we doing in February?
As you know, we do a video premiere on the Tuesday at 8:00 on YouTube, and we do our audio version of the podcast goes out every Friday, Tuesday the 3rd. Because of everything that's going on internationally, and there's a lot of people concerned about Greenland, Arctic security, what does that mean for Scotland? Is Trump completely deranged? All these things swimming around and being used, we suspect, by Starmer to shore up his desire to have a massive munitions industry.
Certainly being shored up by Starmer to back up his wish for a nuclear industry, the length and breadth of Britain, and specifically in Scotland, where we don't need it and don't want it.
Exactly. So we thought it would be good to get regular guests, Bill Ramsey and Isabel Lindsay. I really appreciate hearing how calmly they lay it out, and their perspective is often very different from the hysterical rabble-rousing that you get from the newspapers. So that is our first offering of February. It's called On Thin Ice, and we're discussing Trump, Greenland. Are there any implications for Scotland? Turns out there are some opportunities for Scotland as well. So it's certainly not a scary episode. Hopefully it's one, though, that you'll find very interesting and reassuring.
Yep, good. Well, we've got as far as the first week organised then.
That's the first week organised. The second week, we've also got something for that. So that'll be Tuesday the 10th with the audio on the Friday. As you know, we dig around the Holyrood committees on your behalf. And there has been one recently, which was 4 committee meetings, so 8 hours worth of discussion on is there a legal route to Scottish independence? Now, there's a massive material and they're all on Parliament TV if you want to go and watch them all. And I would recommend it, but it's a lot of time. So what we've done is we've combed through it and we've found some very interesting snippets that came out that we wouldn't otherwise have known. We'll put those together. We'll talk you through them. We'll play the clips.
And some of them just, jumped out at me as being things we, be really good to get wider kind of knowledge of. And there's a committee that's made up of, MSPs, but then they have invited guests in. So they've got constitutional experts, they've got people with a legal background, but they've also got a guest over from Northern Ireland describing what's going on there. So it may sound a bit dry, but it actually isn't. It's really fascinating.
Yeah. You have actually seen one of the clips from it if you watched the episode about the Holyrood majority, because the bit where Angus Robertson was saying, no, it's a majority of MSPs in response to Patrick Harvey's question, that came from that committee as well.
Yeah. And actually, if you haven't seen that podcast, go onto our YouTube channel or our website and have a look at it, because I think it's one of the best ones we've done recently. It's really good. It's called Holyrood Majority Rules ?
It's proving very popular, actually. It's had a lot of views, that one. So
and people have been emailing in with their own comments, which is really good to see that happening. Yeah. Right? Do we know what we're doing after in the second half of February yet?
we know a bit of it. The 17th. This is the one we're not sure yet which of the many options we're going to go for. So that's going to be a bit of a surprise. And then the Edinburgh Women for Independence are doing a hustings. We've been invited along to film it. It's on the 21st in the afternoon, Saturday, the 21st of February. So we should have it ready to broadcast on the 24th.
21st of February, that's a Saturday, 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock, Edinburgh Central Youth Hostel. So you basically make your way down Leith Walk, don't you?
Yeah. And it'll be a women-only panel as well at the hustings. And men are allowed to come, I'm sure. But it would be really good to get women's perspective from the various manifestos. So looking forward to that one. You know how interested we are in local democracy and citizens' assembly type things. We've been following the new, I don't want to call it a pilot, but it's sort of a new initiative, Dunfermline New City Assembly, which is essentially a people's assembly that's being set up and run in Dunfermline. I don't know much about the detail other than this is democracy in action. They're having a free webinar on the 11th of February at 6:30 p.m. You can get the details from their website if you're interested. And that's where they're going to say a bit about what it's all about, what their experience is so far. I think they've had at least one meeting so far of the assembly, but and it's also an opportunity to ask questions. So if you're in that area, or if you're in any area but you're interested in citizens' participation and particularly citizens' assemblies, then that might be something you want to take part in. And their website is dunfermlineassembly, all one word, .org. And the details of the webinar you'll get on there.
That's great, actually. And I suppose like Dunfermline, it's a sort of recent, as it were, recent city, given city status, isn't it? And it's just interesting that if they're starting to explore this as a way of finding out, well, what kind of city do they want and where do they want to put resources? That's really interesting. And it does link in to what we were saying, about the material from Holyrood committee meeting, because a lot of that discussion was about how, if you're moving towards having a referendum about independence, you need to consult with people beforehand. And you're not consulting about whether they support or independence or not. You're just trying to find the best way to process to lead towards that, because there's a referendum and there's a result, but then there's the next thing, and how do you make sure that everyone's maybe not happy with the result, but they were happy with the process, so they feel it's fair. That's probably it, and you haven't even had a chance yet to say anything about Bannockburn House, but shall I just switch it off? Oh, I can't do that.
I will just mention, for those of you who, like me, didn't learn anything about our own history when we were at school, places like Bannockburn House are really gold mines and of knowledge, but also just you're steeped in the actual location where things happened. And Bannockburn House, it's just outside Stirling, not far from Bannockburn battlefield, but it was the headquarters of the Bonnie Prince Charlie, the Jacobite army. They were there for days over that crucial period where the army had stopped there on the way down to Derby, then came back up again, stayed there again, and the decisions were made as to whether Bonnie Prince Charlie would carry on, go back north, or give up. They were made in that room, and it's just
you were in it. Yes,
I was in it, and
treading on the same boards as Bonnie Prince Charlie.
That's right, the same boards, and it's a beautiful old house which is in need of massive amounts of restoration. Which it's owned by Bannockburn House Trust, who have a website, bannockburnhouse.scot. I would encourage you to go and have a look. They'll be doing tours again from April, and we are also hoping to do a podcast episode with one of the people who is involved with the restoration and the history, and this lady is fascinating to listen to about history. So,
well, there you go, folks. If you didn't know about Bannockburn House before, you know about it now. You heard it here first. So.
And I might do a post for our YouTube channel, actually, and give you some photos, because I met Jacobites there. It was fabulous.
Bye then.
Thanks thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to make sure you're following us and subscribe to us, then you get notified every time we put something new out, so you don't miss anything. That would be great. Also, you can click the little bell if you're watching on YouTube.
And sign up for our mailing list. You can do that from the website, and we always send one out at the beginning of each month to tell you what's happening. Last but not least, you can buy us a coffee on coffee.com.